Assalamu alaikum. So as you know that this particular session is a very special session that we hold on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And during this session, normally, before the COVID, we used to have dignitaries from around the world who came and addressed us from this stage. Unfortunately, because of the COVID, we have not been able to invite dignitaries physically to this Jalsa Salana. But by the grace of Allah, we have had a huge number of goodwill messages from some 120 dignitaries, of which 100 are video messages that have been sent to us. We have had messages of goodwill from 62 parliamentarians, 22 from mayors and councillors, and we have 11 countries who have sent goodwill messages for our Jalsa Salana, and we'd like to share a selection for you from amongst the various messages that we have received. So our first 3 video messages are as follows. The first message is from Fiona Bruce, who is the MP for Coghlan. She currently serves as Prime Minister's Special Envoy for Freedom of Religion and Belief, and last month hosted the Freedom of Religion and Belief Ministerial Conference. The conference featured a special message from Hazuri Anwar Ayatollah bin Aziz. She is a close friend of the Jamaat, and the first message will be from her. The second message is from Councillor Guinea Boxo, who is the mayor of Alton Town, the town council in which Adiqatul Mahdi is located. And she, again, is a very good friend of the Jamaat. The third message is from Reverend Norman Grant, who is the minister of Limekilns Parish Church in Scotland since 1990. And I'm pleased to be sharing his message of support with you for the Jalsa. So we'll now listen to these 3 messages.
I'm very grateful to you for the way in which you support me in my role, most recently by arranging 2 very informative side events as part of the International Ministerial Conference on Freedom of Religion or Belief, held here in London in July. I want to put on record my deep concern for the continuing hostility towards the Ahmadiyya Muslim community worldwide. I want to put on record my concern about the many ways in which your freedom to practice your beliefs is curtailed. I know that in some places you're not able to call yourself Muslims, that your ability to worship freely is restricted, that you are prosecuted for practicing your faith, and that state authorities sometimes tolerate attacks against you without taking appropriate steps to protect you. And I'm appalled at the continuing misuse of blasphemy laws against you. I have, as I say, the honour to chair the International Alliance for Freedom of Religion or Belief, the IRBFA for short, this year. And this is a growing organisation, a group of now around 40 countries committed to standing up to defend the right of freedom of religion or belief around the world and to call out abuses. And so together, as many of you will know, earlier this year in March, we issued a statement in support of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community worldwide. In that statement, we called for a number of things, including for the immediate release of all Ahmadi Muslims imprisoned for exercising their faith. We call for the reinstatement of the right to vote for you, and an immediate end to all capital punishment laws. We also called for an end to discrimination against Ahmadi Muslims in their access to justice, education and freedom of expression. And we called states to hold others to account, to hold individuals to account when they use violence or intimidation against Ahmadis. As chair of the Alliance, I pledge to continue our support for the Ahmadis worldwide in your quest to be able to practice your faith in peace and in security.
Your Holiness, National President and ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted as the Mayor of Alton to bring you on behalf of the residents of Alton our warmest greetings for your annual convention. It is an honour for Alton to welcome your convention each year, and I personally send you my warmest greetings for a peaceful and blessed convention for 2022. Your motto, love for all, hatred for none, has never felt more relevant than it is at this time, with war practically on our doorstep in Ukraine. I know that your organisation is greatly respected for your tireless work to promote peace and kindness for all. It is my sincere hope that you will all, regardless of age or ability, leave this convention feeling refreshed and energised to continue with all the good works for which you are much renowned. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you on behalf of all Altonians.
Hello, my name is Norman Grant. I'm the Parish Minister of Cairnhill, linked with Limekilns churches in the Presbytery of Fife, part of the Church of Scotland. I would like to wish you well and God's blessing upon your annual convention, your Jalsa Salana. In the world of today, with so many troubles, not least the war in Ukraine, we need to hear your message of love for all, hatred for none. The need to care for creation is very evident as we witness the effects of global warming. The need to care for our neighbour in difficult financial times is a practical expression of our faith in God. To quote your Caliph, we must be mindful towards God, who is our Creator, and to always keep his memory fresh in our hearts, and to deal with his creation with love, affection, harmony and tolerance. My prayer is that God will bless the Ahmadiyya Muslim community as you meet in conference and in all that you do to serve God and humanity. May God bless you in all that you are and all that you do. Amen.
Islam Ahmadiyya, Jalsa Salana UK, Narae Takbir.
Jazakallah. Our next two video messages are from UK MPs. The first one is from Jonathan Lord, who is the Member of Parliament for Woking, and he's the Vice Chair of the All Parliamentary Group for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Community, and he's a very good friend of the Jamaat. The second message is from Sir Peter Bottomley, who is the Member of Parliament for Worthing West. Sir Peter is currently the Father of the House in the Parliament. The Father of the House is a title that is bestowed on the senior member of the House of Commons, who has the longest continuous service. He's a very good friend of the Jamaat and has attended Jalsa Salanas over many years, and I'm also pleased to share with you his message of support. Now we'll listen to these two parliamentarians.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Jonathan Lord. I'm the Member of Parliament for Woking here in Surrey, and I wanted to send my best wishes to His Holiness and the whole community for your forthcoming Jalsa. Indeed, it was a great privilege and honour for me to meet His Holiness a few weeks ago and to visit Islamabad, your wonderful global headquarters and beautiful mosque in Tilford. It's great that here in Surrey we are able to support your terrific work, and I thank you for all the charitable work that once again you have done over the past year. I think it's terrific that we have the community here in Surrey. I've redoubled my efforts to try and support everything that you do. In particular, I've become a vice chairman of the all-party parliamentary Ahmadiyya group, and I look forward to working even harder to try and combat and highlight the persecution that your community faces in so many different parts of the world. But on this happy and holy occasion, I wish you well, despite the restrictions, for a wonderful Jalsa.
I'm Peter, Sir Peter Bottomley MP. Those who've been around some time will know me better as the driver for Virginia Bottomley, who was the MP for Tilford, where you used to have your great gatherings. When I was 12 in 1956, I first met people brought up in the Ahmadiyya faith. They were the children of a Pakistan High Commissioner. I've had great admiration for you all. I understand some of the suffering, but today I'd like to say how much I welcome the family atmosphere, the mutual support and the care for people outside your own community. So good luck, thank you, and meet next year.
Jazakallah. Our next presentation are messages from international dignitaries with strong connections to the Jamaat. The first one is from Honorable Wilson Mukasa Maruli, who serves as the Minister of Public Services. He is also the Acting Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs of the Republic of Uganda. The second message is from Umaru Napoleon Koroma, who is the National Secretary of Sierra Leone's People's Party. He's also serving in government as the Deputy Minister of Justice. The third message is from Congresswoman Norma Torres, who is the member of the United States House of Representatives from California since 2014. She's previously served in the California State Senate. The fourth message is from Ambassador Rashid Hussain, who represents the United States as the Ambassador at Large for International Religious Freedom. He was on the panel of one of our Jamaats even recently at the International Ministerial Conference on the Freedom of Religion and Belief 2022 in London. So we'll now listen to these four messages.
Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, most merciful. Assalamu alaikum. Respected brethren of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. I am extremely privileged to speak on this august occasion, to this august gathering. I wish to extend my sincere greetings to His Holiness, the leader of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and all Muslim and non-Muslims attending this annual convention in the United Kingdom. As you come together to remember the religious duties, I wish to inform you that government of Uganda commends most heartily the great work you continue to extend to the people of Uganda, and indeed the world over. Besides the spiritual work, reform, and reformation, you have continued to transform the lives of many people across the world through the tremendous work of your organization, Humanity First. I cannot enumerate Humanity First activities in this short time, but allow me to say that the activities are many, beneficial, and extremely commendable. Let me thank His Holiness and the entire community for this great effort. I wish you a very peaceful and successful Jalsa Salana. May Allah the Almighty continue to keep you under His protection. I thank you very much. I am Wilson Mruli Mukasa, Minister of Public Service and Acting Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs of the Republic of Uganda. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, National Secretary General of the Sierra Leone People's Party, Deputy Minister of Justice of the Republic of Sierra Leone in the Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice. Congratulations to the Ahmadiyya Muslim Jamaat UK for a blessed international annual conference. And I want to use this opportunity to say thank you to the worldwide Ahmadiyya Muslim community for teaching us the Holy Quran and the true Islam. The Yasan al-Quran you have introduced and the Holy Quran with translations in different local and international languages you have also made available to the world are a matchless gift to those with knowledge and understanding. Moreover, you are the only Muslim community in the Republic of Sierra Leone that have been able to translate the Holy Quran in at least one of our local languages, the Quran with Arabic text and Mende translation. I pray that Allah enable your community to maintain the lead forever. God bless you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Hello, this is Congresswoman Norma Torres. I am a member of the U.S. Congress from California's 35th District. I would like to congratulate the worldwide Ahmadi community on holding its 56th Jalsa Salana in the United Kingdom. It is an honor to address you virtually. I am so proud to represent the Ahmadi community in my congressional district, which includes the Beitul Hamid Mosque in Chino, California. The Ahmadi community has been a crucial partner in our local communities, and I want to thank you in particular for partnering with the American Red Cross to collect more than 1,000 pints of blood during the pandemic as part of your Muslims for Life blood drive campaign. Your gift of life during the pandemic has helped save the lives of people from all over our state. More broadly, I want to speak about the resilience of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in the face of bitter persecution is nothing short of remarkable. Sadly, the persecution of Ahmadi Muslims is among the most severe in the world, and I know that the past year has been especially difficult in Pakistan and Algeria. Despite suffering unspeakable cruelties, Ahmadi Muslims continue to show courage and patience. No one should be targeted for their religious beliefs. Yet, in the face of adversity, you stand by your belief of love for all, hatred for none. I am proud to be a member of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Congressional Caucus, and I am proud to work with you to defend the human rights of all persecuted communities. And His Holiness, Mirza Masroor Ahmad, continues to be a source of inspiration for millions of Ahmadi Muslims all over the world. I was honored to meet him in 2018 in Guatemala. It was a truly special and inspiring meeting. His message of supreme justice, global peace, and love for all provides light and hope at a time of darkness and despair. And as you gather on this special occasion, I wish you a very successful Jalsa Salana.
I would like to thank the Ahmadiyya Muslim community for inviting me to the 56th Jalsa Salana to celebrate and honor this beautiful community. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is a valuable partner in our efforts to ensure religious freedom for all. I know personally and greatly respect how Ahmadiyya Muslims advocate for oppressed communities like the Uyghurs, Rohingyas, Christians, and Yazidis with the same passion as they advocate for their own brothers and sisters. And you do so even as your own community faces significant repression. Ahmadis have been murdered for their beliefs, and in some parts of the world, your mosques and graves have been destroyed. In some countries, Ahmadis cannot vote freely in elections without discrimination. Ahmadi leaders have been frivolously charged with blasphemy, and in some countries, Ahmadis have been targeted with widespread arrests and prosecutions. No one should ever be targeted for their religious beliefs, and that's why the United States has stood up for the rights of Ahmadi Muslims as equal citizens. That is why we document the abuses they face in our annual International Religious Freedom Report. And that is why we championed a joint statement advocating for the Ahmadi community by members of the International Alliance on Freedom of Religion or Belief. This is a network of 36 countries fully committed to advancing freedom of religion or belief around the world. Alliance members commit to the Declaration of Principles, which is grounded in Article 18 of the Universal Declaration for Human Rights, and states that everyone has the freedom to believe or not believe, to change faith, to meet alone for prayer or in community for worship. As a founding member, the United States has worked through this alliance to support the human rights of members of your global community. On March 1st, the United States championed the joint statement issued by members of the alliance on the Ahmadi Muslim community. With tools such as the IRFBA and clear public statements affirming the rights governments must respect and protections they need to provide, we all can do more to protect members of religious minority groups, including your own community. Again, I'm honored to be here today and appreciate all that you do to strive for peace and for a more just world. I wish you a very successful Jalsa Salana and hope to visit you in person soon. Thank you.
Jazakallah. Our next two messages are from politicians in the United Kingdom who are close friends of the Jamaat. The first is from Alex Rowley, who is the member of the Scottish Parliament representing Mid-Scotland and Fife, and he has previously served as the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, and indeed he's a close friend of the Jamaat. The second message is from Councillor Martin Love, who is the Lord Mayor of Bradford. He's one of the longest-serving councillors representing Shipley since 2002. He has also been a strong Green campaigner for the last 40 years and is very close to the Jamaat as well. So now we'll listen to these two messages.
To all my friends in the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, I want to wish you the very best with your celebrations. Here in Scotland, I also want to thank you for all the work that you've done. You show compassion and you show people that where there is difficulties, where people are less fortunate, that they need help, and you've stepped up. The Ahmadiyya community has stepped up and helped those people, and we are truly grateful. In this world where there are so many challenges, it is right that we show that people coming together in solidarity is the best way forward, and that peace throughout the world will be achieved by people coming together in goodness and in heart. So my friends, I say to you, Inshallah.
Salaam alaikum. I'm Councillor Martin Love, and as Lord Mayor of Bradford, I'm delighted to welcome you to the 56th Jalsa Salana. Firstly, let me thank you for the work you have done and continue to do in your community. I've been pleased to learn of your charitable efforts. Your collection of donations and distribution of funds for British charities is very inspiring. Additionally, it's heartening that your charity Walk for Peace has adopted the motto, "Love for all, hatred for none." declared by your third caliph many years ago. This epithet encourages those outside your community to take an interest in your work and achievements made for the good of mankind. I understand that, for the poppy appeal alone, community members raised over £500,000 within 2 weeks, and overall a figure of £1.2 million was raised. That is absolutely amazing, and I wish to say a huge well done to all involved. Here in Bradford, we are proud to have two of your mosques, the Bait ul Hamid Mosque on Leeds Road and the Al Mahdi Mosque on Rees Way. Both mosques provide great peace and tranquility to our district. Your Caliph, Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, the worldwide head of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, is teaching you in a very profound way. Thank you once again for inviting me to join you virtually at your annual convention. Jalsa Mubarak.
Jazakallah. Now we have a number of messages from members of parliament who either have been or are members of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Parliamentary Group. And the first one is from Fleur Anderson, who is the Member of Parliament for Putney, home of the Fazl Mosque. She is currently serving as the Shadow Minister for the Cabinet Office and the Vice Chair of the All Parliamentary Group for the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association. And of course, she is a very close friend of the Jamaat. Our next message is from Right Honourable Chris Grayling, who is a member of the Parliament for Epsom Ewell. Chris was first elected as an MP in 2001 and has previously served as the Secretary of State for Transport. Again, he is very actively involved with the Jamaat and has attended a large number of our events over many years. The next message is from Paul Scully, who is the Member of Parliament for Sutton and Cheam. He is currently serving as the Minister of State at the Department of Levelling Up, Housing and Communities, and also the Minister for London. He has also served as the Vice Chair of the Conservative Party and the Vice Chair of the All Parliamentary Group for Ahmadiyya Muslim Community. Again, a very good friend and very actively involved with all aspects of the Jamaat. Our next speaker is Right Honourable Damien Hind, who is the Member of Parliament for East Hampshire, which is home to Hadiqat al-Mahdi. He is the former Minister of State of Securities and Borders and has previously served as the Secretary of State for Education and the Minister of State for the Department of Works and Pensions. And again, Damien Hines works very closely with the Jamaat on all issues, including human rights abuses in various countries. Our next message is from Right Honourable David Lammy, who is the Member of Parliament for Tottenham. He is currently the Shadow Foreign Secretary and has formerly served as the Shadow Justice Secretary. Again, a good friend of the Jamaat. We will now listen to these messages of the 6 parliamentarians.
Assalamu alaikum, and congratulations on holding the 56th Jalsa Salana. I'm Fleur Anderson, I'm the MP for Putney and Southfields, and very proud that we have the beautiful Faisal Mosque here and such a strong Ahmadiyya community worshipping here in the constituency. And thank you to everyone who held Jubilee events in this special year, bringing the community together so successfully. It's been a great year to celebrate what I know you will be celebrating during the Jalsa Salana, which is community and peace and harmony. And I've been really glad to be able to join some of those Jubilee events with many members here. I'm also the Vice Chair of the Ahmadiyya Community All-Party Parliamentary Group. And together we're really concerned about the persecution of Ahmadi Muslims in Pakistan, We are challenging that and taking that up every way that we can, and I'll be working on that in the year ahead. One step on the way for that was the holding of the Freedom of Religion and Belief conference here in the UK. We hosted it for people from across the world coming together, many government delegations, saying that no one should be persecuted, no one should be disadvantaged because of their faith or belief. Instead, every faith and belief should be celebrated. And I know that's what you'll be doing at the Jalsa Salana over the next 3 days, with His Holiness speaking all of those 3 days, which is wonderful to hear about. And just have a great time. It's fantastic. I'm just really impressed with the organisation of having so many people here together, and how wonderful it is that we can be back together in person, not peering at each other through computer screens, but celebrating community, peace and harmony. And I look forward to seeing many of you in the future as well. Have a wonderful Jalsa Salana.
I'd like to extend my good wishes to everyone in the Ahmadiyya community, both around the UK and internationally, but perhaps particularly, if I may, to my friends in the local community here in Epsom, in the constituency I represent. I know this is such an important part in the community's annual calendar. I know this year is on a smaller scale than normal, but I know it's no less important to you as a result. So I wish you all the very best for your discussions and for your prayers in the coming days. I know this is an extraordinarily difficult time for many of the community internationally. We continue to get reports of persecution of Ahmadiyyas in too many places around the world. And my thoughts are with all of those affected. And I know that the United Kingdom government and all of us in public life in the United Kingdom will continue to seek to push for much more religious tolerance around the world. Religious intolerance is something that should never be accepted anywhere and must always be fought against. I'd also like to extend my thanks to all of the community here in the United Kingdom for continuing to be so engaged in doing positive work in the local community. I see so many examples of members of the Ahmadiyya community making a positive contribution, making a difference in this country, and you should all be very proud of what you do. And I know that His Holiness continues to provide a fantastic lead for everyone in the community, and I extend my good wishes to him and those who work closely with him as well. So I hope this year's event goes well. I know it's not on the scale of normal, but nonetheless, I hope this is very positive for all of you, and let us hope that as we move towards 2023, that things begin to improve for those who do face that appalling persecution around the world.
Salam alaikum, and it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to you today. And I'm sorry I can't be with you at the Jalsa Salana this year, but it's a good opportunity for those of you that are there to get back together again in person. But at least we can still reach out virtually. And I know His Holiness will be speaking in all 3 days of the Jalsa, and that's always to be welcomed because he will be addressing millions of people right the way across the world, and you'll be looking at the issues that you always do about education, about openness, about integration and the interfaith peace, because it's about relating to people, about building connections to people, which means that the love for all, hatred for none mantra really embeds itself, as it does already with the Ahmadiyya community, but also the friends of the Ahmadiyya community and the wider society around us as well, in all faiths and indeed those of none. Now, as a former member of the all-party parliamentary group, I can't remain a member whilst I'm a minister of the government, but my heart is still with the cause that brings the APPG, that cross-party group, together. That's working on tolerance right the way across the world to end the persecution of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community around the world, not least in Pakistan. So we want to make sure that we can redouble our efforts and call out that behaviour that causes misery to people who just want to express their faith, who just want to pray in the name of their God. That's such an important fundamental right, and would always work towards that, restoring that ability to do so. Can I wish you finally, once again, a very happy Jalsa, and I really hope you enjoy the connection that makes those 3 days particularly special in everybody's hearts. Thank you.
I'm Damien Hines. I'm the Member of Parliament for East Hampshire. and I'm pleased and proud to be able to extend my welcome on behalf of the people of East Hampshire to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community once again to Jalsa Salana back in East Weldham at Oaklands Farm, and in particular to welcome His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad. Jalsa Salana is a truly unique event. It's a coming together from around the world, and it's a celebration of the values that your community holds so dear. It's an important opportunity to be together, to celebrate that, to celebrate what you stand for, and that inspiring phrase, love for all, hatred for none. In this time of great global challenges, the work that this community does to promote cohesion and the common good has never been more relevant or more important. It's embodied in many ways, including your charitable work and the Walk for Peace, which of course happens right around the country and including here in East Hampshire. And it was my privilege to take part in our local Walk for Peace again this year. We in East Hampshire are proud of our association with the Ahmadiyya community. Our communities have a great deal that we can learn from one another, and we're so pleased that you're able to come to this part of England for Jalsa. I hope while you're here you may also have an opportunity to see some more of what East Hampshire has to offer. But I wish everybody a joyful, a peaceful and a prayerful Jalsa.
I want to congratulate you on coming together to celebrate the 56th Jalsa Salana. All of us have been locked up and cooped up because of the pandemic, and I know that you've not been able to gather in large numbers for a couple of years to celebrate this year's Jalsa. And so well done for coming together. I also want to say, as Shadow Foreign Secretary, that the Ahmadiyya community is a community that finds itself victim to intolerance and persecution in Pakistan. Here in London, your community has been present for over 100 years, and we celebrate that freedom to practice your religion and come together. And so as you gather for His Holiness, I want to encourage you, I want to honour you and respect you, and thank you for all that you do to preach wisdom, faith and love. And as you come together for this festival of openness and education, please know that the British Labour Party stands with you. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah. Now, we've had so many messages of goodwill that it is not possible to play all of them. So our team has prepared a collage of some 20 clips so that at least we can include some of the goodwill messages that we've received. And these 20 clips will include various members of Parliament. For instance, Elliot Cobham MP for Carshalton and Wallington, James Sutherland MP from Bracknell, Jim Shannon MP from Strangford, Kate Green MP from Stratford and Urstham, and the Lord Mayor of Nottingham. Amongst the 20-odd clips, these 4 MPs and the Lord Mayor will also be sending their message of goodwill. So we should now listen to them.
Assalamu alaikum. At this, your 56th UK convention, I understand more than 30,000 will be joining together in Alton. I wish you all a happy and spiritual joining together.
To wish you a very, very happy 56th Jalsa Salana.
Thank you so much for all of your pro bono work. It's really important that we are free to live and to worship as we choose.
My engagement since I was elected in 2019, and as we've seen with COVID from the community, has been remarkable.
I would like to offer a word of support and encouragement to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community.
I'd like to send my very best wishes to everyone attending the 56th Jalsa Salana.
And I just want to express and send my warm wishes to all those in the Ahmadiyya community here in Warwick and Leamington, and indeed across the country, and in particular celebrating the 56th annual convention.
This gathering does not just represent unity of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community from my own community of Coventry in the wider United Kingdom, but also across the world as others celebrate.
Know and understand that this message will go out globally and that you'll have the exceptional presence of His Holiness Hazrat Mirza Masroor Ahmad, and he will speak on all 3 days of this event.
And greatly admire your tolerance and spiritual strength in the face of some of the appalling provocations and persecution. I know that in some places you can be targeted in your homes, schools, colleges, even your mosques. I'll continue to support your campaign for proper rights and fair treatment.
I was shocked and saddened to read in the all-party parliamentary group report into the persecution of Ahmadi Muslims and other religious communities, and that not only is the persecution of Ahmadis escalating in Pakistan, but that there are signs of that hatred already coming to the UK. And I will work with other MPs and with the community to prevent this escalation and do all I can as an MP to ensure that hate preachers are banned from the UK and to stop the circulation of online hatred.
I'm proud to have the Baitul Hafiz Mosque in my constituency, and I know that there's a large contingent from Nottingham attending the Jalsa Salana today. I'm told that the theme of this year is service to humanity and establishing peace. I also send my solidarity to Ahmadi Muslims internationally who face persecution as a result of their beliefs. You deserve religious freedom, equality and respect wherever you live.
I wanted to take some time to wish all members of the Ahmadiyya community best wishes ahead of Jalsa Salana.
After what has been a difficult time for the nations, I am delighted to see you coming together to uphold the Ahmadiyya Muslim community's message for lasting peace, love for all, hatred for none.
All the best for your 56th annual convention. I know that many will be making the journey from Brent and Harrow to Alton.
And I'd like to wish everyone a very happy and successful Jalsa Salana. It's a shame that we can't meet in person still because of the ongoing effects of the pandemic. But it's important that we continue to come together with that message of love for all and hatred for none.
And we've got a fantastic Ahmadiyya community living in my city. And so I want to congratulate everyone in my city celebrating their annual congregational Jalsa Salana.
And as a Christian, I like it when all faiths can push to see this. And I would want to thank the work that the Ahmadiyya community have done to try and bring peace and unity together.
I would like to say a huge thank you to the Ahmadiyya Muslim community in our town. They have been phenomenal throughout the pandemic, supporting people in need, helping the NHS, and year after year they help with the poppy collection. So I'm so grateful for all they do for Watford. I wish you the very best over the coming days, and thank you again.
So I'm wishing you a wonderful Jalsa Salana. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak today, and have a wonderful celebration.
So that concludes today's video presentations. Now, as I mentioned, we have so many other videos that we won't be able to share with you, but inshallah in tomorrow's session, we'll try and bring some of the messages once again tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, whilst we wait for the arrival of Hazrat Amir al-Mu'mineen Ayyad Talib bin Aziz, I'll request Fareed Ahmed Sahib to come and read some of the written messages that we've had from various dignitaries.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. We have several written messages we've received. The first one here is from Nigel Atkinson, who is Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Hampshire. And he says, as Her Majesty the Queen's personal representative in Hampshire, I send my best wishes to those attending the 56th Jalsa Salana that is due to take place in Alton on the 5th to the 7th of August. I am pleased to hear that your annual convention will go ahead this year, although on a limited scale. I nevertheless hope it will still be a very special central event for both your community and those listening live on broadcast. This year, the country celebrates Her Majesty the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, and most of us have lived with Her Majesty as the Sovereign. I hope this special anniversary of the Jubilee will help us celebrate and value all that is best in our families, communities and nation. That's from Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of Hampshire. The next message is from Professor Lord Alton of Liverpool, who's a member of the House of Lords, who writes, "It is a great pleasure to send a message of greeting. I am delighted your convention is able to be held this year. I continue to follow the many challenges faced by the Ahmadiyya Muslim community and greatly admire your dignity and forbearance in the face of appalling provocations and persecution. This year, I was delighted to support your cause further at the Freedom of Religion Conference, where I chaired a panel discussion following the screening of the harrowing film Section 298. It unveiled to me the reality of life for you under Pakistan's deadliest law. Persecuted from birth, Ahmadi Muslims are targeted at home, in schools and colleges, at work, in your mosques, and even your graves are not spared. You are also denied the right to vote. I shall do my best to continue to campaign for your rights. Despite all the persecution you face, I greatly admire in the way in which you put into practice your belief in coexistence and your insistence that we should have love for all, hatred for none." That's from Professor Lord David Alton. We also have a message from the Church of Scotland and the moderator of the Church of Scotland, Right Reverend Dr. Ian Greenshields, who says, "It has been my privilege and pleasure to have met with members of the community previously and to have shared in the moments of warm fellowship. I'm looking forward to future meetings and the possibility of continuing to explore new ways of working together in order that we might honour God and express our friendship in a positive way to our country. Your community seeks peace both locally and internationally through contact and friendship with other religious traditions, such as our own. We honour that aspiration and hope and pray that we might find positive ways of working together." Another message received is from the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, and he writes that we would like to express our appreciation for the positive contribution of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community to life in Northern Ireland, in particular the recent assistance provided by them to the Northern Ireland Blood Transfusion Service by collecting 100 bottles of blood for local hospitals and the significant charitable donations made to the Northern Ireland Air Ambulance, Marie Curie and Cancer Research UK. These selfless efforts exemplify truly the Ahmadiyya Muslim community's motto of love for all, hatred for none. And the office is committed to collaborating with faith communities to make Northern Ireland a more integrated and inclusive society, and we welcome the opportunity of further engagement with the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, and that's on behalf of the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland. We also have a message from Emma Hardy, Member of Parliament for Kingston upon Hull West and Hessel, and she says, "Assalamu alaikum. It is my great pleasure to offer a personal message of support, solidarity and peace for the Jalsa Salana. The message of peace and respect and commitment to work towards harmony between all faiths and people of earth brought by Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad is as vital and important now as it was more than 100 years ago. Humanity is facing great challenges. COVID is still with us, the effects of climate change are becoming more dramatic, and wars rage. We cannot meet those challenges through greater conflict or by following our own selfish interests. Humanity's greatest strengths have always been in cooperation, community, and our faith. We must put aside our differences and look to build upon these strengths and create a better future for us all. So I commend your commitment to the path of peace and thank you for your message of togetherness. May this Jalsa Salana serve only to increase love and understanding." And that is from Emma Hardy, MP.
Could I please request everyone to be completely silent? The proceedings are going on and we must remain silent whilst the proceedings are going on. There will be one or two more messages and then inshallah Hazur will be arriving. So please remain silent.
The next message is from Ian Blackford, Member of Parliament for Ross, Skye and Lochaber. And he says he is the leader of the Scottish National Party at Westminster. And he said, I am delighted to send you all of my very best wishes for Jalsa Salana this year, taking place in such a different environment. But all credit to you. I am pleased to hear that the site has extensive groundworks over the past year, which is brilliant. You managed to organize this Jalsa in a way that still means that so many people can be included, so many people can participate in coming together, and to manage to make that happen after such a challenging time is a huge credit to you all. He also acknowledges the difficulties and persecution faced by the Ahmadiyya Muslims in Pakistan and commits to working with the community to tackle the persecution, and he applauds the solidarity demonstrated by the community and its commitment to love for all and hatred for none. Jazakallah.